Hey VC, so a little something different today. We are going to take on this dust cover from that Pioneer PL512 that I was replacing the belt on. And it's going to be very difficult to show you here in the video, but I think you can see here on the top. Now what we have here is a couple of burn spots. I don't expect this to come out. It looks like somebody had set a candle on top of here and done some heat damage. But the entire top is very cloudy. You can see in the light all of the different scratches that are in there. It's a little bit easier to show you here. The sides are perfectly clean. Those are clear. It's just the top, and I think you can see the difference dramatically, how good the sides are and how poor the top is. So we got a new product. Previous to this, I had used the headlight cleaning kits that you buy in auto parts stores. And it had some mixed results, generally positive, but I found it difficult to use, and it was a little bit too abrasive. I mean, it's designed for a heavy plastic on your headlights, not really something as delicate as a dust cover. So what was recommended to me was this Novus system that I picked up from Amazon. It actually just came in, and I'm going to go ahead and do a couple of spots and kind of show a before and after, and let's see the final results when this is all done. So I'll get into it and get back to you here in a minute. So I've been over it with the number 3 here once. This is actually the bad side, and let me flip it around. And this is the side that I just did. There's definitely an improvement. There's still a long way to go. I'm going to give it a couple more tries with the number 3 and see where it takes me. So let me get at it and I'll get back to you. So I've actually gone through this 3 times now, and hopefully this will show up. But as you can see, the difference between the undone side versus the completed side is pretty vastly different. It's a huge improvement in the cloudiness. It's still there. I'm never going to get rid of all of these scratches, and of course these burn marks are never going to go away. But again, that's just going to make a big difference in how it looks. So I'm going to go ahead. I don't think I'm going to bother doing another time around with the number 3, but let's go into the number 2 and see how well this polishes up. Well, that certainly turned out to be a very dramatic difference. So one coating of number 2, and you can see from the top unfinished section down to the bottom completed section, it's really made a huge difference. So, and I'm actually on a little bit of the overlap here in the middle. I'm almost wondering if I could have gotten away with just doing a number 2, because the other side of the label towards the top here in this video was not done with number 3, but I did have some overlap with the number 2. So I'm kind of curious to see what would happen. But for the most dramatic effect, where we started from, here's the side which was perfectly clean, and now here's the top. And you can see there's quite a bit of a difference now. It's almost as clear now on the top as it was on the bottom. Flip this around again so you can see the difference. So this is kind of where we started, and you can see how cloudy that is on the top versus the bottom. So yeah, I'm pretty impressed thus far. So it seems like the number 3 is a rubbing compound, number 2 is a filler wax, and then number 3 is just a straight wax, or number 1, sorry, is just a straight wax. So I'm not going to do a number 1 on the side that I did because I don't want that wax interfering with the second half. So let me go ahead and do the second half, and I'll show you the final result when it's done. So hold tight for just a sec. Okay, so I've completed the run with the number 2 and actually given it a coating of number 1. And this is kind of the finished product. I'm trying to hold the same camera angle as I did in the beginning of the video, so you can kind of see the difference that it made. And it's definitely a huge improvement. I don't see the circular rings that I used to get when it first started from the side. Obviously the sides are still a lot cleaner, but the top is certainly a lot clearer than it was. So I'm pretty happy with it. I mean, I picked a particularly bad one. Even these burn marks are not as noticeable as it was, but in comparison to the headlight kits that I normally use, The headlight kits, basically you get a pad that you put on a drill with some sandpaper and you actually grind that stuff down. Now that would have done wonders for this, but I'm not interested in doing that with this particular cover because of these burn marks. But for a cheaper alternative, the Novus product actually worked very well. I'm very happy with it, and actually the number 2 and the number 1 seem to make the most difference, to be honest. And I will be using them again in the future. And as opposed to spending $10 on a headlight kit, this was $10 for 3 whole bottles. I can do a whole bunch of these. So yeah, very happy. If there's some other product that you use or you've heard of, let me know down in the comments and I'll give it a whirl and see what happens with other stuff. But for right now, I can definitely give my endorsement to the Novus product. And I'll catch you on the flip side.